Basil Smigel, it seems a little more than tone deaf. You had the commander-in-chief standing in the Rose Garden saying words that were totally detached from the actions of the federal government, saying he stood with peaceful protesters. Well, at that moment, they were forcefully removing peaceful protesters from Lafayette Square so that the president could wave around a Bible he looked like he'd never seen before in front of a church. I mean, talk about how far we have to go to get to the starting line in doing any of what Chuck Rosenberg's talking about.
Well, first of all, as you mentioned churches, I was heartened to see that the bishops of the Catholic and Episcopal bishops came out and pushed back on what Donald Trump was attempting to do there. But I also think it's part of this sort of larger pattern or strategy of his to reframe institutions and reframe presidential power. You know, we used to think of his actions as violating norms, but when you really look at it, the attacks on the judiciary, the attacks on the intelligence, law enforcement, on governors and on mayors, even our election system, this is a pattern of trying to intimidate voters, intimidate well-meaning individuals that want to speak out in support of good government and restrict the power of people's voices. And you know, to add to Chuck's point earlier about how complex this is, there are 14,000 school districts in this country. That means 14,000 different ways to teach kids. It's not just what you're teaching me, an African American. It's what you're teaching those other kids that may grow up to be police officers about what is normal in our country, what justice means. And so if we don't really find a leader that understands, that has both the moral character, but also understanding of the complexity of our system, you know, we're going to go through this again.